Today, we're going to talk about a serious but often invisible threat that's lurking in our hospitals. It's something that can undermine a patient's entire recovery. But here's the thing, it's surprisingly preventable.
I mean, just think about that for a second. When someone's in the hospital, all the focus is on the main event, right? The surgery, the injury, the illness. But what if we're consistently missing a key factor that just unravels all of that hard work? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into.
So, first things first, let's put a name to this hidden threat we're talking about: malnutrition.
Now, this definition here comes from the European Society for Clinical Nutrition and Metabolism. And the specific words they use are so important. This isn't just about feeling a bit hungry or skipping a meal. We're talking about a real physiological state that actually alters your body, reduces your physical and mental abilities, and straight up hurts your chances of recovering from whatever else you're fighting.
And that right there is the crucial shift in thinking we have to make. Malnutrition isn't some minor side effect of being sick. It's a whole other disease that happens at the same time. It needs its own diagnosis and its own treatment plan, just like anything else a patient is being treated for.
So why is this disease getting missed so often? Well, here's the core of the problem. Hospitals are busy, chaotic places, you know? And in that hustle, this condition just flies completely under the radar. If there aren't specific rules and protocols in place, it's just way too easy to overlook until the consequences get really, really serious.
And what are those consequences? Okay, let's get into the very high cost of letting malnutrition go completely unchecked.
I mean, just look at this list. The stakes could not be higher. We're talking about people's health getting worse, higher rates of other illnesses popping up, and yeah, tragically, higher death rates. Patients end up with more complications, which means they're stuck in the hospital longer, and that puts a huge financial strain on the whole healthcare system. It's a massive domino effect, and it all starts with poor nutrition.
But, and this is a really big but, it is not all doom and gloom. This is where the story takes a really hopeful turn. This whole crisis is preventable. And even if it's already started, it's usually reversible. The secret sauce? Early intervention. Catching it early makes all the difference.
So how do we catch it? What is that all-important first line of defense? Well, it comes down to a simple but incredibly powerful process called nutrition screening.
This is the official game plan for catching the problem before it gets out of hand. Think of nutrition screening as a quick, systematic check to flag patients who might be at risk. It's a way to raise a hand and say, hey, this person needs a closer look from a specialist. In this case, a registered dietitian nutritionist or an RDN.
And when it comes to the screening, timing is absolutely everything. There's this tiny, critical window, the first 24 to 48 hours after a patient is admitted, to get that initial check done. But it's not a one-and-done deal either. It's a process that should be repeated at different times throughout their stay to make sure nothing gets missed.
Now, you might be thinking this all sounds like a lot of extra work for already busy hospital staff. But here's the great news. It's not. The whole process is designed to be a supportive task. The tools they use are simple, they're fast, and you don't need a ton of special training to use them. So what are these simple, fast tools I'm talking about? What does this toolkit actually look like? Let's take a peek at some of the common screening tools that hospitals use.
Okay, as you can see, there's a whole bunch of options out there, each with its own little acronym, right? You got the SGA, the MNA, the MUST. Don't worry about memorizing the names. What's important is that they all do the same basic job: quickly and accurately figure out if a patient is at nutritional risk. The beauty of it is that a hospital can just choose the tool that fits best with their patients and how they do things. But with all these options, how does a hospital know which tool is actually a good one? You can't just pick one at random. A truly effective tool has to have a few key characteristics.
So here's the checklist. An effective screening tool has got to be simple, quick, and cost-effective. But the most important one, the absolute deal breaker, is that it has to be validated. And all that means is that it's been scientifically proven to work. It needs to be sensitive, so it catches everyone who is at risk, and specific, so it doesn't accidentally flag people who are actually fine. You see, getting that balance right is everything. A good tool acts like a perfect filter. It makes sure that every single patient who genuinely needs a dietitian's expert help gets seen. But it does it without flooding the system with referrals for people who aren't really at risk. It's all about precision and efficiency. And that brings us to our final thought for today. We know that malnutrition is a serious, expensive disease hiding in plain sight.
We know that it's preventable and it's reversible. And we know that simple, effective, proven tools to screen for it already exist. So the real question, the one I want to leave you with, is this. How can we make sure this simple, life-saving check becomes a non-negotiable standard part of care for every single patient?